You probably have one stuck to your monitor right now. A little square of yellow paper. A reminder, a name, a phone number. You peel it off without thinking. You stick it somewhere else without thinking. But the glue holding that note in place was never supposed to exist. It was a failure, a mistake a scientist almost threw away. In 1968, a chemist named Spencer Silver was working in a lab at 3M in Minnesota. His job was simple on paper: develop a stronger adhesive, something that could bond materials together and stay firmly in place. He mixed his compounds, he ran his tests, and what came out of that experiment was the opposite of everything he was trying to make. It was weak. It barely held anything together. You could press it onto a surface, peel it right back off, and press it down again somewhere else, and it still worked. By the standard he was given, it was useless. Most labs would have logged it and moved on. Silver didn't. He looked closer. His adhesive was made of tiny, round particles, almost like microscopic spheres that only touched a surface at certain points instead of bonding across the whole area. That was why it held just enough and let go just as easily. He had no idea what to do with it, but he believed somehow that this strange leftover mattered. For 5 years, he tried to convince people. He gave talks. He walked the halls of 3M, describing his discovery to anyone who would listen. Colleagues started calling him Mr. Persistent. Nobody could find a product for an adhesive that refused to stick properly. Why would anyone want glue that doesn't hold? Then, in the 1970s, another 3M employee named Art Fry ran into a small, ordinary problem. He sang in his church choir, and he used scraps of paper to mark the hymns for Sunday service. Every week, the same thing happened. The bookmark slipped out of his hymnal and fell onto the floor. He remembered Silver's adhesive, the one nobody wanted. He coated the edge of a paper strip with it and pressed it into his hymnal. It held. It didn't damage the page, and when he peeled it off, it came away clean. That simple bookmark solved his problem, but it also revealed a much bigger possibility. A piece of paper that could stick temporarily, be removed cleanly, and be used again somewhere else. Within 3M, the notes spread quietly, office to office, long before the public ever saw them. People stuck questions on reports, reminders on each other's desks. The notes worked because they didn't ask permission. You didn't need a stapler or tape or a second person's attention. You just left your words somewhere visible and walked away. Even so, the company almost gave up on it twice. The first public test, in 1977, used a different name and barely sold. Shoppers looked at a sticky scrap of paper and didn't understand what problem it solved. It took a free sampling campaign in Boise, Idaho, handing the notes directly into people's hands before anyone believed in them. Once people actually used one, they understood instantly. 90% of those who tried a free sample said they would buy more. In 1980, the Post-it note finally reached store shelves nationwide under its real name. The paper happened to be yellow because that was the only scrap color sitting in the lab next door. There was no branding decision behind it. It was simply what was lying around. Today, Post-it notes are used around the world, stuck to monitors, refrigerators, windshields, and whiteboards. None of it would exist if Spencer Silver's adhesive had actually worked the way he wanted it to in 1968. So next time you peel a note off your desk and stick it somewhere else, remember what you're holding. It isn't strength. It's a mistake that someone refused to throw away.